Welcome to Purposeful Tribe today. And today, I believe, I believe you have been enjoying the journey so far. It's all about family, it's about singles. And today, we have on the show a very wonderful person. I call Iyiola of Star Structure in the UK here. And welcome with me, Tayo.
Thank you so much, Timidire. My name is Tayo Iyiola. I'm a family life practitioner. I'm an entrepreneur. I wear many caps. It's an honor to be on your show today. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. So the show today is all about the singles. Like the guys will always say, all my single ladies, all my single men, you are welcome to this podcast. So we'll be talking about singles. And talking about singles, our emphasis is basically around how singles can maximize the singlehood season. So it's going to be a very wonderful topic that I believe is going to have a lot of value to people. So, but before we go into that fully, can we get to know who is Tayo? Who Tayo is?
Like I said earlier, that I wear many caps.
Yeah.
So on this podcast, I will say Tayo is a family life practitioner. Also an entrepreneur. So I'm living my life on adding value to people, making impact, service to humanity. So that's what is important to me.
That's good. So we are diving into it straight. So talking about singles, I believe for every married person, either male or female, the journey began with being a child to growing up, then down to going through the phase. It's all about phase actually.
Yeah.
And the single phase for some is a phase that a lot of people dread. They dread that phase because of the various issues that they have encountered. We're looking at that shortly. And also we want to talk about singles. Let's talk about, for some, let's start from where some look at possibly they are growing old, maybe 35, 40, and some will be like, is God still aware I'm alive? Yeah. So can we start from there?
Yeah, the angle of mature singles.
Yes.
Let me use that word for them. Like feeling left out, feeling like, am I actually gonna get married? Am I forgotten? I'm gonna start from marriage is not for everybody. And the only way you can actually know if you're cut out for marriage or not is there is a master planner behind marriage,
Right.
which is God. So you need to ask God, are you cut out for marriage? And the funny aspect is some people don't even need to communicate with God because they so much cherish their space that they don't want interference. So when you cherish your space so much that you don't want, how do I put it, a third party in your space, you're not ready for marriage. You want to put your cup here and you don't want anything to happen to it. So by the time you are married, whether you're a man or you're a woman, and everything is about, this is how I left this pillow, this is how I want you to be, you're not ready for marriage. Because marriage is about many things. Tolerance is one of it. Right. Patience is one of the journey. And we're talking of a journey of a lifetime. So it's not a thing of, I'm tired. You just want to get out of it for any form of flimsy excuses like we have now.
Right.
For you to think of marriage is not a thing of age. So societally, we call it mature single. We look at them like, oh, you're right for marriage. But is marriage meant for you? Can you undo marriage? Are you ready to stick with this person for the rest of your life? So there are so many other factors, not just the age. You can be old and you're not mature to handle marriage.
Think about, when we look at the society, they look at it, they view from a different angle. For instance, when someone, let me look at people from Africa. I actually use that example so much. Right. When someone goes to the university, after graduation, the next thing that is expected is, when are you bringing the man home, or when are you bringing the lady home? So don't you think the society also put a lot of pressure on
Yeah,
people
there's
going,
societal
whether
pressure.
not understanding whether this person is cut out for marriage, like you said,
Or not.
or not? So they just, okay, you are done
University.
or you are done with your vocational training.
Training.
The next thing, go for
Marriage. Our society is not helping the situation, because that's why it seems there is so much rise in divorce, separation right now, because the angle of marriage is not taken into the consideration. So we need to encourage our people not to put pressure on individuals that are not yet married. And it's not about marrying at 22 or at 25 or at 30 or at 40. It's about the quality of the marriage. So this person that you are putting under the pressure of getting married, is that person mature enough to handle marriage?
So marriage is all about maturity.
It's a whole lot of maturity.
Maturity across many phases of life.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. Going going further on that.
All right.
People will always talk about, you mentioned, okay, before I go to that, you mentioned something around some people are not cut out for marriage. So how do you identify, or let me put myself in this shoe. How do I know that I'm actually cut out for marriage, or I'm not meant for marriage or something? Or is that what you mean?
Like one of the examples I made, I said something about not wanting people in your space.
Right.
You know, some people are private. They just want to lock themselves in their room. They don't want interference. Some people want to leave the house and, go out without anybody questioning, where are you? They see it as questioning. But let's say I'm a married woman.
Right.
And I can't just wake up and leave the house without telling my husband or my children my whereabouts. But if I don't want to be accountable, I'm not ready for marriage. I'm not cut out for marriage. So I shouldn't even be thinking about, I want to get married. So in the first place, I should be ready, willing, I need people in my space. Talking to some individuals at times is like you're stressing them out. They just want to be left alone. You can't be married and keep quiet. You need to communicate, because communication is the life wire of a good marriage. So there are so many things. So for me, I advise people, go for premarital counseling. During the counseling, you discover some things. It's not too late for you to back out at that point to know that I'm not cut out for this thing, or this is not the person for me, or right. I don't think I'm ready to spend the rest of my life with this person, because your eyes will be open to some things during counseling. And as a single person, male or female, you know yourself. And if you don't know yourself, you need to go on a discovery journey on knowing yourself, which comes with, depending on your faith. If you're a Christian, seek God. If you're a Muslim, so it's still your God you speak to. So speak to your God to really know who you are. There are some people God did not call them to marry. Probably like the Reverend Sister, the norm. Some, it can even be ministry. The way God gives them the grace to be without partner, you know that this is what God has called this person to be. And if such a person should get married, it's going to be a disaster, because God has not given the grace for that person to be married.
That's huge, and that's profound. Talking about that, you mentioned the area of ministry. Can someone that is in the place of career, like saying, okay, look, I am this, I'm seeing myself in the next 5 years becoming this. I want to grow between here and there, and I don't want any distraction. I don't want anything. So do you think someone can actually be called out into a particular career, aside those that are called into ministry now, that someone can actually be called into a particular career and see that as what the person is called out for, and if anything comes in between, we be a kind of distraction?
Exactly. Yeah, it's possible.
Okay.
Because that person has already set out the goals. This is what I want to achieve. And the word ministry applies to our work as well.
Good.
If you're a banker, it's a ministry. So it's not ministry in terms of evangelism, pastoral alone. Right. So whatever profession you're doing is a calling, is a ministry. So you can decide on your own to say between so time and so time, this is what I want to achieve, and marriage is not in the plan in the next 5-10 years, and after that I can think about it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, let's talk about people for singles. There is this concept, or not there is actually meant like the waiting, searching. I put it waiting, finding, searching, and experimental factors. A lot of people talk about how do I. Some people have the opinion that you don't need to wait. Go out on a date. Some people believe that you need to wait. So how now? Let's look at it. How should someone wait if there is need for someone to wait? So how should someone wait? Someone that is matured. I'm talking about matured singles now.
Yeah.
A mature single that is yet to get married. How should someone like that get wait for the right person?
Okay.
Or do you think, or do you? I have the opinion that someone should wait for marriage, or they should just go for it.
I'm of the opinion that you should wait, and I've spoken with few people recently that I believe they are mature enough for marriage, and in our conversation I realized that they don't know what they want, even though they are mature singles. So in the waiting period is knowing what you want, is knowing why you want to get married. Right now there is a trend of what do you bring to the table. Before you say what do you bring to the table, you yourself, what do you have to offer on that table? So that is why the waiting is vital. The waiting is crucial. No matter the age, you need to wait. You need to know yourself. Marriage is sweet. Marriage is interesting. For those who understand the dynamics of marriage, marriage is not straightforward. Like I mentioned something about premarital counseling. What if I'm telling you now that post-marriage counseling is much more important than premarital counseling? So if you are not willing to subject yourself to premarital counseling, if you are not willing to subject yourself to waiting, if you are not willing to wait, you are not willing to search, you are not willing to go through the pain, the sacrifices of identifying the real person. So by the time you are married, you will definitely see someone more handsome than your husband, more beautiful than your wife, more taller, more robust. Mention it. But in the place of waiting, you would have eliminated some things and realized that it's not about physical. It's more of depth. So not the physical attribute is not important. It's important.
Right.
You need to be attracted to your spouse. It spices up your marriage. But what will stand the test of time in marriage is not how your partner looks, it's what your partner carry on the inside. It's the value, it's the content. So imagine a family going through challenges, and what the wife is saying is, I told you, you should not do the business. I told you, all the wife has to offer is what? Bringing down, not encouraging, not supporting, not praying, not seeing the greatness in the partner. Vis-a-vis.
Right.
Is that a marriage? That's what they call the test of time. It comes in different forms and versions. So your role, your responsibility is to do what? To pray, to encourage, to support, to motivate. In as much as even you doing that, you need all those things as well. But at that moment, you are the prophet of your spouse.
Right.
So you just need to step in based on what is required. Oh, I need water. Your partner is able to provide the water. In terms of spiritual needs, that's the water. Not when you need water. Can't you go and get the water yourself? I told you to buy water yesterday, you didn't get water. So the language, the presentation of what we are saying, that is where value comes in. That is where the content comes in. That is where, not just getting married for marrying sake.
Not because you are old.
Not because you are old. Being old, that age, for me, is not a factor for getting married. It's not at all.
Thank you. So, like you said, people should be looking at getting prepared while waiting. The waiting period is not the time to start looking around. Where's the man coming from, or where's the lady coming from, or searching or YouTube or chat searching Instagram and looking for things all around. But then, let me go back to why people are waiting. Or let's now go to searching. I'm a mature single. How do I search?
You need to be intentional about searching. You can't stay in your house and expect, for example, using myself, I can't stay in my house and expect someone to come and meet me and propose to me in the house. It can happen to someone by chance, but that is not the regular thing, regular occurrence. So for me, whether man or woman, you need to be intentional about searching. But before going into searching, I would like to dwell a bit more on preparation.
Right.
Because in the place of preparation, you know what you're looking for, you know what you're searching for. But if you can't identify what you're searching for, even when the thing passed through your nose, you won't know it. So in the place of preparation is when you identify what you're looking for. What kind of man, what kind of woman, what kind of physical attribute, what kind of spiritual attribute, what kind of financial capacity, what kind of a marriage do you want? So many questions and everything that you need to answer yourself, because what you don't have, you can't give. So you want to marry, you want a happy marriage, and you think everything falls on the other person, forgetting that you also have a role to play. So when the place of your role, what you want, how you want to live your life is sorted, then you can go into searching. So coming to your question in terms of searching now,
right,
you need to be intentional. So are you intentional about going out, about hanging out, about networking, about attending events, about going for conferences? Or they are calling for single and married program, like, no, I'm not cut out for that. You're not cut out for that till you are 50, you won't still be cut out for it. So what intentional effort are you making towards meeting people, meeting quality people, meeting your like minds? So because everybody is not your desired man or woman.
Right.
So when you've identified what you want, you need to be intentional about it. You need to be intentional. Like earlier you mentioned something about in Africa and right here,
right,
that the challenges singles are facing, that is it quite challenging here? It's very, very tough here. It's quite challenging here.
That is it harder?
It's harder
For someone
here,
abroad, especially let's put in the UK now.
The
is
UK.
it harder for someone in the UK to get for a single rather
Yeah.
to get to find a right suitor?
Yeah.
Compared to people abroad,
Back home
rather.
Yeah, it's harder. It's quite challenging here because of the lifestyle here. The lifestyle here is choken, is back to back. Go to work, come back, go to work, come back. By the time you are probably home, the other person is probably working. Probably your schedule is not mixing together. So, but if you're not intentional about it, it's still not going to work. But when you're intentional about meeting people, is when they'll be like, oh, there's a trip to somewhere. You know what you want. Oh, you'll be like, okay, just 2-3 days off work. Let me go excel. Even if the person I'm going to meet there is not my ideal person, at least I have, I'm making new friends, right, talking to people. And when you get home and you realize that, oh, all the people I met there are not it, you forget about it, you move on.
Right.
So it may cost you more here in terms of searching, because you need to go out. The weather is not the kind of weather that you want to go and sit at the park, except it's summer.
But even if you sit at the park in the UK, you can't actually say hello. That would be crazy here.
Very, very crazy.
Yeah.
So that's why
it's actually an offense anyway.
Yeah, it is. So the thing is, being intentional is everything. Right. Which church do you go to? Is one. What kind of people are you relating with?
Let me interrupt you. Yeah. Then even looking at that here, being intentional is very key and very critical. And let me take let me look at some paint a scenario. Like for someone, I was sharing with a lady recently, and I was saying that look, it's harder here and I give my reasons. Say, for instance, you are a lady, you are single, and where you work like 5 days a week, and you're always busy at work, and the remaining 2 days you are picking extra shift elsewhere, or picking a shift in a particular company elsewhere, right? Or you are doing another job elsewhere, right? The church you go to, the category of people, when you mention quality of people, the category of people that are in your church, they are old people, they are married people, and all you do is you get home, go to church on Sunday. For those that do go to church, some don't go. Like for those that do go, and the people that you are meeting in the church, they are not they are married people that they're not your target audience, because it's like marketing. Like you have to understand the people, places I go to. Can I meet the right people? Can I meet quality people that
That's where being
need?
intentional comes in.
Yes.
If you go to a church and you realize that the people you are meeting there are older people, change your church. You know what you're looking for.
Right.
What I'm looking for is a husband. What I'm looking for is a wife. And you're seeing old
people.
women. What are you doing there? So change your crowd. So that's one of it. Because you need to strategically position yourself. It happened to me. Using myself as an example, while growing up, I grew up in African church.
Right.
And not that anything was wrong with the men in the church, but I looked around and I felt like my husband is not here. Nobody said anything. That's the way I just felt on my own. That when the time comes, I'm going to leave. That I don't have that peace that my husband is here.
Or conviction.
I said, my husband is not here. And I didn't discuss it with anybody. I didn't say anything. That when the time comes, I'm going to leave.
So you have to avoid being sentiment.
Exactly.
Else be sentimental.
It's your life.
It's your life. You don't have to say, okay, oh, I like this place. I like the people I go to church with, or I like the place I work. Right.
Exactly.
But the place where you work, the people that you need are not there. Though you may not change your place of work, right? Yeah. But you can be intentional about
the other places you are going to aside to work. And you can't say you are looking for a spouse and you are speaking overtime. Your spouse, you'll be too tired for you to even think clearly. So you are not helping yourself. Overtime is okay for a particular period of time to achieve a particular target, and when you have done that, put it aside. Living a quality life is important. Living a well-balanced life is important. So we can't be chasing money and you are chasing your future partner as well. Pick one. If you want to chase money, there's nothing wrong in it. You are the one that know the reason why you're chasing money. But it's not going to be forever. Because by the time you have the money, that's when you realize that, oh, I need a companion. Because that's one of the reasons why you're getting married. You need someone you can just call at your beck and call and rant. It's not the person that offended you, but you just want to vent your anger. Oh, do you know what I just saw now? Oh, do you know where I've been to? Oh, do you know what happened to me? So do you want to be speaking with your money? So you need to just prioritize what you want in the journey of, marriage. For me, singlehood is sweet. I will even say one of my best season of life was singlehood.
Why did you say that?
You can wake up in the east and you sleep in the west. You are free like a bird. You can do whatever you like to an extent. Like, if you are hearing, your life will never remain the same again. It's childbirth. They are blessing. But the reality is, don't, look at marriage like is everything. Maximize your singlehood. To the singles out there, maximize. I want you to maximize your
enjoy your singlehood, right?
Enjoy it. Discover who you are. Discover your purpose. That's your singlehood. In the Bible, it says, as singles, your love is to who? To Christ. but the marriage, our love is to our spouse. That's the way it is. So singlehood is a place of, living the kind of life you want. Live your life. It's an opportunity for you to define what you want, how you want your future to be. But in marriage, you can't make decisions yourself. You have to relate, dialogue. Oh, this is not okay for the family. This is how we should do it. The same thing to your spouse. Your spouse too cannot just wake up and say, oh, we are doing this. No. You need to always have a round table talk. Aside your partner, you are putting the children into consideration.
Right.
I'm not saying marriage is not sweet. To the glory of God, I've been married for almost 19 years.
Wow.
Not just married, I'm happily married. But the thing is, at times I feel like, I wish I can just lock myself in this room and nobody is disturbing me. I'm not hearing any movement by the stairway. I'm not hearing, somebody needing my attention. You understand? But the thing is, that's what maturity, that's what growth, and that's what the capacity to be able to juggle life.
Right.
But singlehood, what you're juggling is not as much as when you're married.
Well, that's fine. So let's look at why some singles get a kind of delayed or singlehood. Because for some people, like you said, it is a period that people should enjoy. It's a period people should understand, discover themselves, and explore the God-given talents,
Exactly.
the things that are within them,
Exactly.
to be the best that they can.
Exactly.
Think about how they can be better than they are, so that when they are now ready for marriage, they will be the right person for the right person.
Exactly.
However, some people have delayed in getting married. What, in your own opinion, what can you say are the reasons for some people having a delayed marriage?
Many factors surrounding people having delayed in getting married. One of it, I would say, not knowing what you want.
Okay.
Some have used their husband as boyfriend. So when it's time for them to marry, it's boyfriend that they have. So they can't marry boyfriend. When husband has passed as boyfriend, vis-a-vis male or female, it's like that. So when they are chasing cloud, forgetting that this is the best, this is who you are meant to be with for the rest of your life. So some, I will call it inflated ego. I'm too big for this, I'm too big for that, till time has passed. Some, I'm not ready yet. So when are they going to be ready? Till the time has passed. So different people with different factors. So it's not just one cast in stone kind of a thing, like, everybody that are delayed is because they did too much younger, they were too picky, they were too choosy. No, it's not usually like that. Some are just busy. Some are even busy enjoying that singlehood, forgetting that time has passed.
The time will fly.